Hello. So we are Luis and Vinicius, right?
Yep.
And we are talking about a short story, right? And from Neil
Yes.
Gaiman.
Yep. It's a short story called Snow Glass Apples. I believe, yep, it's from 1994.
Ah, okay.
It
So,
is a retelling of Snow White.
yeah.
hmm
So, do you want to start this conversation? Or you want me to
Sure, I can
start?
start. So the story, it is a first person narration,
Yeah.
past tense.
Ah, yeah.
It is from the point of view of who we think is the villain.
Yeah.
But in this story, he twists that idea.
Yeah, this is great. I don't know how to define this, but it's like,
hmm
oh, I don't know,
Yep,
lack of words, right?
yep. He makes the evil stepmother witch as a
Yeah,
victim of gaslighting, right?
yes, and of gossip and of a fake story. Yes, they create
Yep,
after, right?
yeah, half truths and misunderstandings and
Yes, and all of
things
that.
like that.
And I think this is nice too, because if you think about it, this is the way that short stories and that tales, actually fairy tales and tales in general, folk tales, they pass through generations. Like people
Yes,
tell
yeah,
them,
it's
they don't
through
write.
oral
Right?
tradition. Yeah,
Yes, they usually don't write in the beginning, right? They pass. To other people. So this is interesting because in this situation, the story got twisted, right? And
yes,
this is why we know the idea is that this is why we know a different story because the story got twisted, and then
yes, and it's a very interesting idea because if you think about the story that we know, what kind of person looks at a dead body and is attracted to it?
yeah,
If you're thinking about
yes,
literary
this is
history,
I couldn't believe it.
I can think about Edgar Allan Poe saying that the most poetic thing to write about is a dead woman, a beautiful dead woman.
Yeah. And we're talking about that prince, right? In the end, that
Yes.
he sees. But also, I think it's strange. Like it's kind of, I don't know, right? Fucked up, and the way
Yeah.
that in that moment, where Snow White, yes, is there, in the woods, and then a monk is a monk, right?
Yes.
Sees her, and he's kind of. I get the feeling that he's kind of interested too, right?
Yeah.
So so he's also interested in something that okay, okay, he's not a corpse in there, but she is like a monster, right? She's evil.
She looks
And
like a child
yes, at the same
clinging to
time,
that.
no, this is true. This is something. Okay, so you think that is more this side of her, the side that is a child and looks innocent that he's interested in.
I think we are talking about two different things. The prince, he was into her because of her death. That's
Yeah.
a corpse. We
No,
have
yes, it's different.
a
Yes, this is
description
the
of
end.
him having sex with the queen, the
Yeah.
witch. The monk character, he's like a random person walking through
Yeah,
the forest
that's
that the
it.
witch sees, and she's like a 13-year-old kid, I think. And then
Yes, but I think
she
like
kind of seduces him, I guess, and he's
yeah.
like into it. It's a very
So
Humbert Lolita kind of vibe to that
yeah,
book.
so I think this is interesting because he is like a monk, right?
Yes.
So he kind of succumbs to his instincts, right? What
hmm
he shouldn't do. Yes. And then
Yeah.
this bring him to his death. But I think like what I was talking about, like, is like, okay, she is a kid, so at the same time, we can think, oh, he's interested in a kid, yes, and
Mm-hmm.
she seems innocent, but I think there is signs, like, for example, her nails, the
Oh
way she
yeah, she's
looks.
dirty and
Yeah,
stuff.
she's
Yeah,
dirty. Her eyes, I don't know. She has a
yeah.
stare. So I think in a way he's attracted to a child with his fucked up, and also he's attracted to evil somehow,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he's a monk.
Yeah,
So this
yeah.
is very poetic, right?
Very dark ages
Yes,
vibes.
it is. It is.
Very Game of Thrones.
Yes, very Game of Thrones, yes. And in the end, too, like you said, this Star of the Corpse, and then how the prince there, right? He says to the queen, "Oh, you have to stay." There's the beginning of
Don't make
the
no, don't make a sound. Don't do anything.
yes, yes, and then she, of course, does make a sound. She,
Yeah, I thought it was interesting and creepy that the witch's husband, the king,
yeah,
the father of the child, was also a victim of his daughter. There
yes.
was a part where he described that there were bite marks in his genitalia.
Yeah, so she is responsible, right? Snow White is responsible for his death, and is also kind of dark, like you said, because
Yeah,
right.
she's a vampire, right?
Yeah, she's a vampire. Yeah. But
And
we have this idea, this relation of vampire and sexuality, and
hmm
this, for example, this description, this dark liquid, right? Between her
hmm
legs, and this is very
yeah, I thought it was, I don't know. I imagine it's like shit or something,
could be, yes.
like an abject, but it could be like a more symbolical, weird,
Yeah,
vampire specific liquid to
could be,
represent
yes, or something like
evil
that.
or whatever. Yeah,
But yeah, and then yes, do you got any other references to vampires? Because of course she is
I
a
did.
vampire and is
Uh, the story mentions the lands beyond the forest or something like
ah,
that. The land beyond the forest, that combination of words is Transylvania means the land beyond the forest. So I
yeah.
got that.
Okay. Yes, I didn't get any. I asked you because I mean you know a lot about this topic, right? I didn't get any specific reference, right? But I think it's also one thing that is interesting is like the queen. She's kind of
hmm
a witch, right? And
Yeah,
this is not seen or perceived as something negative by the village, as you could
yeah,
imagine it would be like in the Middle Age. But it's not. People like
yeah.
her.
She's, well, maybe because she's the queen, but I don't think so because she mentions that in her youth she used to do scrying
Yeah,
and
yeah.
magical stuff.
Because
Yeah,
she
so it's like
says
a magical kingdom version.
yeah, yeah, that's it. So she says that she usually, because actually in Snow White, the mother is kind of a witch, right? She can like
Yes.
make spells and stuff. But I
Yeah.
like she's wise. She's described as wise, and people like her
Yeah.
because she can guess what is happening. And she says, "Oh,
hmm
it's my responsibility to destroy Snow White." Oh, and what is
Yeah.
interesting too is that in the end she can't, right? It's different. So the evil
Yeah.
actually wins, right? What do you think about this
Yes.
kind of stories? Do you like or not?
Oh, I love them. You're breathing new life to an old traditional story. That's it's not your ideas, it's not the story, it's not the characters, it's what you do with them that matters.
Oh,
And
that's
that's, I think, my favorite part about this retelling.
yeah, yes, it's true. Because the idea, could be great, but the way you write, or the way you see, right, your point of view is what
Yeah,
changes everything. Yes.
yeah, and
And yeah, you can.
sorry, he was definitely influenced by Angela Carter.
Yeah, this retailing, like
Yeah,
this new
this
perspective, right?
even this focus on a female character, he didn't have to do that.
Yes, this focus on a female is true. It's true. So this is very different, and that's it. And but then here is also different because there, in Angela Carter's story, for example, the one that we read, right?
Yeah.
Uh, the main character, she's the heroine, right? And also like, but she's a victim. But here, actually, the queen is the victim. So the
Yes.
villain is the victim,
Yes.
right?
It's interesting you mentioned the Bloody Chamber because I was thinking about it after we talked about it. The only person who is named in that story is the piano tuner, the blind piano tuner, the
Yeah,
love.
it's true.
The only one.
It makes sense
I thought,
because
I thought that
he's
was
blind,
interesting
maybe.
because that character in specific, he's supposed to be the hero, right? He saves the
Yes,
day.
but
He's
he's
the
not the
focus of
hero,
the
right? She's
story.
the hero.
Yeah, yeah. So it was kind of an interesting subversion that she did that.
Yes, it is. It's part of the subversion, right? It makes sense. I haven't noticed this. Of course, I noticed that some of the people they say, "Oh, the mother," but it's not a name, right? It's like
Hmm.
the Marquis, but not like
Yeah.
this is a
In this,
name.
yeah, in Gaiman's short story, he doesn't name anybody. Nobody has a name.
Ah, okay, so that's why we are saying the Queen, Snow White, and in every story
Yeah.
it's like that.
Yeah, it's interesting that we call her the queen because if we're just thinking about the Disney movie, we call her the evil witch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, right. I agree. So this is interesting. But yeah, so is this. So there, in Angela Carter's story was the hero is also the victim. In here, actually the villain is not the villain anymore. Is
No, the
actually
villain is the victim.
yes, is
Yeah.
the victim. So this is very interesting.
Yeah. Did you like the ending? I loved it.
Ah, yes, the ending when, oh, yes. And then I think this is, so for example, the narrator is her, right?
Yeah.
But she's dead. So this is like a,
No, 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 no. She's inside the
in,
thing.
but she's writing, like, what is the idea? Like,
It's not that she's writing, it's that she's remembering, keeping the story
ah,
straight in her head, convincing her that
okay.
she isn't crazy, right?
Okay, this is nice.
Like
I
I said,
love
she's a
it.
victim of gaslighting, right? And they're trying to manipulate her into thinking that she's crazy.
Yes, and now because she did that, we have her version of the
Yeah.
story. But I love this end, and then she says, because she says they want me to scream, of course, but they will
Mhm.
not have me scream, right? So
Yes.
uh, this is very revolutionary, right? So
Yeah. She, if I remember correctly, she is focusing on a snowflake on Snow White's cheek that didn't melt, meaning she's like,
yeah,
she's not human, she's kind of a dead
yeah,
body corpse or something. And because of that, I thought it was so funny that the prince's desire for her is never waned after she gains consciousness again because her
Mhm.
body is cold. She's kind of like dead already, like a walking corpse, a living dead. I thought that was a very funny
It is.
idea.
Because like I thought when she wakes up, either she's gonna eat him, right? Like
Yeah,
feed from him, or like he's going to lose his interest. But it makes sense that they are married now and they
Yeah.
are
Well,
together
he is going to die. She's going to become
eventually, right?
eventually.
Yes.
Yeah. Except
And
that
I
she's a parasite, right? So the parasite always needs a host. He's the host.
yes.
So she would probably keep him alive to be her blood bag or something like that.
Yes, and he deserves because he's stupid and decided to wake her up, right? So
Yeah, he's going to have the same ending as her father did,
yes.
essentially.
And if you see, these are the men, right? Because for example,
Yes.
the queen is smart. So of course, she had an ending, like she died, but she was not never fed, right? Oh,
Yes.
so this this
Oh
is
no, no, no.
a
She was fed
no
once.
once, but like
Yeah.
she didn't die from it, right?
No,
And
no, no,
this
no.
this time she realized this time, right? She realized that Snow White, that we don't call
Yeah.
her Snow White, right? I don't remember.
No, no. The only time we call Snow White is not as her name. It's a description of her
Yes, in the end,
skin
right?
at the very end. Those
At the
are the
very end,
last
yes.
words. Let me let me find it so I can read it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
So the last sentence is, I think of her hair as black as coal, her lips redder than blood, her skin snow white. And that's the ending.
Yes, that's it.
That's such a good ending.
It is because it like portrays an idea that's no that this description is actually a bad description, not a good
Yeah, it's a
description.
vampire. You think of a
The
vampire.
vampire, yes, because throughout the years, people think that this description is because oh, it's European, so she's white, and people like this, all right and red.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, but then no, it's because she's a vampire. So this is very wow, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
his bastardizing, twisting the
Yeah.
perception. Yeah.
Yes. So this is a good example. But yeah, she was fed once, but then she realized that the vampire, the thing, or Snow White, or wherever was not, was a monster, right? So she
Yeah.
protect herself and then lock the doors. And like I ask myself, why did the father didn't do that, right?
I
Because
think it's
he's
because it's his daughter.
yes, maybe
Yeah.
could be.
Maybe the mother was the same.
Ah,
I
yes,
don't
because she
know.
died before, right?
Yeah, she died in childbirth, which is kind of fitting for a vampire, right? Kind of
Yes.
crawling its way out of its mother,
Yeah, yeah.
draining her dry of blood in the womb or something like that.
So yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
I also really loved the voice of the writing, the prose. It was very fairy tale esque. It was kind of old timey. I don't know. I liked it.
Yes, it was like telling a story, right? So
It
like
felt
oh
like a book that a parent would read to a child,
yeah,
but like a fucked up one, you
yes, it
know?
sounds like a fairy tale, like a fairy tale, a regular
Mhm.
fairy tale, but then it's not a fairy tale, right?
Yeah,
Because
the horror is very much at the surface as well.
yes, but I agree. It sounds like these tales that we tell to sleep, right? And then, oh, but
Yeah,
she says I'm going to tell how things really are, and then is this
yeah,
version, right? So yeah,
yeah.
I love to this the writing, right? Okay, do you have something else to add or something you want to?
No, no, no. I really liked it. I thought it was really clever, well executed. I'm a fan of it. 5 out of 5. Love
Yes,
it.
yes. I also think it's 5 out of 5, and it's my first time reading, right? But I like it
Hmm.
a lot, so it's not
Yeah,
my last time reading.
yeah. There's a gorgeous graphic novel adaptation
my
with lots of art.
God. Oh,
So
I'll
if you'd
search.
like to read that one, I recommend it.
Okay, I will search for it.
Hmm.
Okay, I'll buy. Okay, so that's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And see you.
Bye
Bye.
bye.